Hey everybody, Sarasota Tim revealing the 2022 Goldwing. Now why am I doing it like this and I don't have my mic on? I haven't took the cover off the bike. This is just a temporary cover. I've got a full waterproof cover being delivered to the house in Florida that I'll be leaving over it. But I wanted to just remove the cover and kind of give you the revealing with the cover coming off, because I have to get my bag and my microphone out of the bike, and then I'll plug it back in and make another clip to this video. But here it is in the Glint Wave Blue. Glint with a G. Isn't that pretty, huh? Now, I'll get the microphone up and set everything up for you. Okay, there it is. And I don't have my selfie stick on me. It's over there in the truck. So I'm using my tripod, and I think I can make this work just fine. So there it is, the 2022 with only 5,000 miles on it. So it's basically a brand new motorcycle, and the only thing they've ever changed from 22 to the current 2025 is just two or three things. One is they now have a wireless Bluetooth connection that I have too, because I have the helmet that does it, the showy helmet with the Bluetooth connection. So that really doesn't make a difference. But the bike itself, you don't have to plug it into a wire, a little dongle, to connect to use your Apple Maps and stuff like that. Also, the 25 is a 50th anniversary, so two of them do say 50th anniversary on the, I'll walk over there closer in a moment. Just letting you enjoy it. So many guys that show these wings, I've been watching so many videos, they just don't back away far enough. They just either do a riding video, and I want to do those too, but I'm trying to fix my phone. There we go. I have a little tilt on it there. Sorry about the moving. So the 25 has the wireless thing, and it has, of course, different colors every year. 50th anniversary, just says it on the front there, right here. Right there. And nothing else. I mean, pretty much. Now, each year they make these colors. They usually make two. And what they've gotten away from is the chrome on the bottom, the chrome exhaust and the chrome, excuse me, I got the hiccups. The silvery motor, it's all like this now, all blacked out. And I love the contrast on the red bikes and the blue one here that has the chrome. Now, the white bike, it looks both. It looks good both. It really does. The black looks fine, just like my truck. The white really does make the black look pretty good. And the wheels are black on those ones that have the blackout type style. Now, I mentioned this bike, I think when it was new, it was $29,900. No. It was $31,000 because it's the airbag. I forget. That airbag was $3,000 more for the Goldwing motorcycles. If you got the DCT dual clutch transmission, no shifting, as you can see. I'll walk over here and show you. Those of you that ride motorcycles, there is no clutch. No clutch. It's just a scooter. You just gas it. It shifts up, it shifts down as you get ready to stop. When you get ready to stop, yeah, it stays in gear, but you don't need to pull a clutch in. It just doesn't want to pull away from you or anything. It just sits there. It just sits there. It's just extremely intelligent. And we'll get into some of the things that were done to this bike that are optional, that were extremely expensive, that I don't have to do. Extremely expensive. A lot of guys, and like myself, when I had my previous Goldwing, they'll go and they'll put these little things you can stick right here, a little chrome thing or something here, something that covers, you know, all this or something. This here you can change and make it like, it's a little stick-on thing of chrome, right? And they're 3M tape. You can put some things in here. You can cover these right here with some 3M tape chrome, little stick-on deals, you know. And you can just really gaudy it up. Some of it's tasteful, but most of it is kind of gaudy. This is not stock. This has got a couple things on it, and I'm going to explain them to you right now. So there's no difference in the 25. You'll spend $33,000 for this bike new with the airbag, and they have two colors that are atrocious. But let's go over what we got here. First of all, this is Glint Wave Blue. Extremely rare. It was the only one ever I even saw used for sale yet. And being the airbag model, not many people want to give these up. And only 5,000 miles on it. Yeah, it's just really a gift, So what do guys do that know Goldwings that you should do to make it comfortable, safer, better in every way possible? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to change the seat. You say, what? That's right. There's a lot of chatter about how uncomfortable in 1 hour of riding the seat on the factory seat is. I mean, your butt will be hurting. And of course you don't get this either. That's something you would have to buy if you bought one from Honda for the stock seat. Now you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you about this seat. Okay, you're going to think that it's nuts. And I think it is too, but people do it. In fact, a lot of people are doing it. This is called the ultimate seat. The ultimate seat. And the ultimate headrest. This actually just Velcros. You can just pull this pouch right out. It has a little zipper pocket there. You can put a phone or your valuables of some kind or whatever. The ultimate seat, this heats up. Here's your passenger heater switch. This heats up. This heats up. This heats up. These heat up. Okay, these are factory. It's fine. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the factory seat is a very hard seat. There's like no foam on it. It's just a shell. This has got nothing but memory foam, and it's actually not leather either. It's just vinyl. In fact, they say it's not even waterproof. They give you a cover that you're to put over it, or cover your bike when you walk away if you're going to be in inclement weather, because the stitching, you know, water could possibly get down in there, and you know, the heater element and then all the other wires, you know, below the seat. So, you know, that's the only kind of a con to it. But it is, I mean, ultimately, this thing is amazing. So here's what guys do. You ready for the price? Here's what they do. They buy this ultimate seat. And they buy this. They buy this. They don't even get that maybe. And they don't put this piece. They don't get that piece. This is part of that. Let me back out for you. I know you're saying that. This, a lot of guys will leave the factory one on. And if you don't look closely and nobody tells you, unless you study it really hard, you may not be able to like, hey, this doesn't match this. Because the one that came from the factory, you know, that and this, it all match. It's got this big V thing here, and it had a similar design in the seat. And that's fine, you know, and really might have done it myself if I bought an ultimate seat instead of spending what this cost to do the whole thing. And you can get them without the heater. But who wants one without the heating part? And who wants one without a backrest? $2,300, folks. I stopped by the Honda Powerhouse dealer in Chattanooga. I made a video, you might have saw it. And they had one on a bike. They have one on like a little metal thing, like a saddle, like a horse. And you just get on it and sit on it. It's not even a motorcycle. It's just a thing they have the seat mounted to, and you sit on it. Because you'll be looking for one. If you buy a new Goldwing and you sit in the saddle for more than an hour or two, you'll be looking for something. People buy these little cushions. They buy these little furry things. I've seen it all. I even did it myself when I had my old Goldwing. They do everything they can, even on the older generations, the 5th generation. This is the 6th generation, to do whatever they can to make this. And another advantage of this is the seating position on a Goldwing versus a Harley. You're a little bit more forward, and your knees are straight down, like 90 degrees. Where in a Harley, your feet are a little more forward, and you lean back. You're kind of like raked back. You're like leaning back. It's kind of cooler. This is kind of a nerd sitting position. There's 2 reasons for it. It's just the geometry of the way they built the bike and design, and the type of handling and the way this bike does, and difference between that and a Harley Davidson. This is like night and day this is like almost like a sport bike. And it's not just touring in a cruiser, it's like a sport bike. It's amazing. So this seat, the ultimate seat, they have what they call a tall boy, and they have another one. But it will give you, this part is 1.5 inches back from where the factory seat is. So I love that. So now I'm not seating like nerdy. The only problem is I'm not a real tall guy. I'm only 5'10". Now my handle, if I were to lean against the backrest, my hands aren't really long enough without leaning slightly up to hold the handlebars. Now, when I'm on the highway cruising and traveling, I can, you don't have to hold the handlebars. Of course I would, but I mean, you can just hold with one hand and you can lean back, put your feet on the highway pegs here and go. But like around town, I'm still going to be off this backrest a little bit because of the guy that had it was, I think he was 6 feet, and he went with the tall boy. No regrets having it though. I'm glad I got it. And he didn't get cheap. He got the whole thing. Now he paid $2,000. They're like $2,300 at the Honda dealer now. They told me the other day. So inflation's really got it going up. So that's the first accessory. Didn't mean to spend so much time on it, but it's so expensive that if you were to buy a pre-owned one or a new one and you had to spend that, I mean, I'm sure I could get $800 to $1,000 for this entire seat from someone that didn't want to spend $2,000 for a new one, right? So it's got value. The next thing is on a touring bike. It's all about, breaking the wind from you. That's why they have, this is called a fairing, the front fairing. And, that blocks the wind from hitting you when you're traveling. You're sitting back there in your own little cocoon. Well, the factory windshield is clear. This one's tinted, as you can tell. This one's called the F4. You mention F4 to a Goldwinger, they know exactly what you're talking about. When I had mine years ago, everyone was buying a different windshield. They call them tall. They have this recurve. This thing is slightly bent forward. That throws the wind up and over the driver's helmet. But that's not all. That windshield's electric. That windshield goes way up and way down. And a lot of people think that's one of the best features of the Goldwing. But with the stock windshield, even though it can come up, it's about to here. You get another couple of inches on this F4. And everybody puts an F4 on. Now you can get it clear. This guy put the tinted one on. He thinks it looks better with a bike. I agree. So it's got a light tint. It's not clear. Clear looks a little, stock. So he put that on. These are $400. Not cheap. And it's electric. The electric part you don't have to buy, but it just bolts on. But Goldwing used to be a thing where you have to, clamp something here, you move it, and you move the other side, then you got to pull it up. You got to be stopped, of course, to do all that. This is on the fly. You could be driving. raise that thing up in any position you want. I'll demonstrate in a few minutes. Okay? I mentioned an airbag. There you go. If it didn't have an airbag, this would be a glove box. It'd be a little compartment you can open up. This is your fuel filler. You know, gas cap behind that door. So, you know, I didn't really care about an airbag. I wanted this color, and I certainly wanted a DCT transmission. So, happens to have an airbag, bonus, safety. Every Goldwing now, they used to have these other styles back in the day. They swivel around. I think all the Harley guys have those too. This is called the big ass cup holder. That's what it's called. The big ass cup holder. It will hold a, what do you call those metal cups? I have one, I found it the other day. Yeti. A Yeti cup can go in there. A Big Gulp cup can go in there. Coke can go in there. McDonald's Zing can go in there. And you can also get these, well, you know, I don't know if you can get armrest on this one because it already kind of comes out. I think the factory one was shorter. But anyway, moving on, that's the windshield. Cup holder's nothing, I just pointed that out. Another expensive item that's really nice too. You got a darker navy, this little piece here, and if you look closely, like a little hologram or something in this here. It's very cool. And this is the glint blue, and then you've got that little hologram looking thing down here. And on the fairing, you have your little stripe here, and this is the dark navy up in here. It has dual disc brakes in the front, anti-locking brakes, by the way. I remember back in the day on the 5th generation that I had, the 1800, ABS was the big thing, like airbag. Airbag came out too, but ABS was, they had Comfort, Comfort Navi. They had models ranging from, Comfort meant it had the heated seats and the heated grips. Comfort Navi meant it had that plus a GPS navigation system, of which this one has. Comfort Navi Airbag, no, Comfort Navi ABS, then you got that model and it had the ABS brake system. And then they finally had the top of the line, Comfort Navi ABS Airbag. When I had my 4Runner, I had this red one, and it was kind of a brand of mine when I had that, when I started doing YouTube. And I wanted something that if I'm going to introduce this to my channel and start doing moto vlogs and things and traveling on it, I did want something that was like one of the red ones that I just fell in love with when I saw it about a week ago at Deals Gap on the tail of the Dragon. And I was all about that color until I saw this, and then I was about the white. And even though white isn't loud and popping, it does pop. Believe it or not, the white one is amazing. The silver is just fine, but it's blah. And the charcoal gray, blah. The black, hell no. So these, last time they had something really exotic, they had this yellow one back in the day on the 5th gen. I don't think they've come out with that again, ever. The belly pan that was put on is kind of a safety feature that seems to be, you know, really, you know, very popular with the Goldwing community right now. Everybody's putting that on, and the F4. Not many people are going with the ultimate seat. I mean, many are, but you're going to bite the bullet. Quite a few people do get the rack on there because this will increase your luggage capacity of putting up something up here. You're not going to believe what else I got. You're not going to believe it. I mean, this guy gave me everything. I've even got a phone mount. Look at this. Phone mount. Now, the deal to make videos when you're talking and you know, wind noise and all of that, that's going to be something I'm going to have to look into some more. And I will be. But there's even an emergency brake on it right here, because it's not in gear. There's no clutch on this one, so it's sitting in neutral, and to get it off you lift up again and it's off. But I have it on the side stand there. Most people forget about the emergency brake as well. I got my britches on now, see? It has a center stand. It can sit on the center stand. Oh yeah, there it is. The whole thing. Let me see if I can do a better job. I don't want to accidentally turn the phone off. These buttons on here without the case on. Okay. There it is. So it goes from here all the way down to here. And there's bolts that hold it on. I was watching a guy do an oil change on video today, and he was saying that the bolts are gone, missing. They're little Allen screws. 2 of the 3 that are in the front or the back, one or the other. Maybe they've changed it and updated it. If I can get off the ground now. This is a little coating, but there's a steel bar under here. If this bike were to fall over, there's a floorboards for the passenger footrest. This is just a cover for decorative purposes, but there's a steel U horseshoe shaped steel bar that if this bike fell over to the side, nothing touches. The saddlebags, the mirror, nothing will be scratched because these things right here behind them, this is just decorative. Let me put this phone back on here if I can without messing up. I don't have my case on. Don't drop it because I'm going to need to trade this in for the 17 Pro Max. All right, here we go. Back to the demo now. So, 45 watt speakers, but you ain't going to believe what else he gave me. Gave me a brand new, never used rain suit. Holds 2 full face helmets in this trunk, and he gave me a full face helmet made by Shoei. Shoei is, that's how you properly close it. Never put your hand up here. Shoei is $1,000 helmet, and then $400 for the intercom system that Bluetooths to the bike. So it's a $1,200–1,300 helmet, and he had one. It fits me. I couldn't order one better. He gave it to me. It's also blue. It's a matte blue. It's not the exact blue as this, but it is blue. I got that with the deal. I got a $2,000 seat, $1,000 helmet, $400 windshield. I think that's a couple $300 at a belly pan. Highway pegs are not stock. The owner had put these on there, fold them away. You can push them out with your foot when you're riding and move your feet forward off of these pegs. I may change these out to a floorboard, more of this size. There's a huge difference in putting your foot on a peg, kind of like a bird on a branch versus standing on the ground here. So since I've already gotten all these major things for free, I will change those out. Plus these are looking a little worn, not really worn I guess, but, and they do not match. This is a brand, because that's the stock peg, see? That's the factory one. If most people, when they put these on, they'll also change these out. You'll have a matching system there. So that will all be changed out by me. And there's a bigger footprint brake pedal that I'm going to put on. Makes a huge difference. Not just looks. I was watching a YouTube video. A guy got me convinced. This right here, open that up. You have a small little cubby there, but that's not what it is. See this button? When I press that, pay attention. Believe it or not, that's what you got to do to get to your gas cap. All right, we'll start it up, show you the front lights. It's got fog lights on it, LED lights, it's fog lights down here. All these were extra back in the day when I had my 5th generation. All of those, you know how much those cost, but they come in the factory now. Lights in the turn signal, they used to be amber now, and I put the clear ones on my old wing, and these are now clear. The lights are going to be amber when they're on because that's the turn signal color, but the lens is clear. Looks better than the orange amber lens. So to start it, there's several ways to start it. You can just turn it on. Now I have a key fob. There's no key. Works like my Honda or your car if you have a newer vehicle. That it's a proximity key. Where is it? Right here. And you can turn the button. You press that and hold that for about 5 seconds. And to save your battery, you can turn this key fob off so it's not always searching. There's something else on there too. I don't know what that is. What is this? What is that thing? See? That's why yesterday I just spent so much time figuring out what stuff is. Also, you can, this will give you more air on your chest in the summer. Everything's very high quality. Japanese, baby. And anyway, you turn it on. The proximity key is in my pocket. Everything goes through the deal. It says tour, and I'm in neutral. There's the radio, because I'm not connected to my Apple CarPlay. That whole screen changes when you start getting involved. I won't give a tutorial. I'll do that some other day of how all these buttons can change that screen to the maps and gas mileage and trip odometers and all these things. But it's got buttons here, over in here, all down here. All right, we're back. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. When I turned the key on, the phone tried to link, but the helmet is in the camper. And so anyway, let's just continue. And these other videos, there's so many videos about the bike that I'll be sharing. Even though there's a million already on YouTube, I'm going to put my million on. And so we got the belly pan, the windshield, and the ultimate seat, which are like the big things, and the $1,200 showy helmet that I have that it has the intercom system. A rain suit. In the beginning when we were talking and I was wanting to, go lower on the price like I always do, like anybody does, he was talking about taking the seat off and eschewing the helmet from the deal, and right there is over $3,000 worth of accessories. And in the end, he included it all for me and then some. It only has 5,000 miles on it. So that struck a very curious, concern with me. Like, why would anybody trade a car with 2,000 miles on it? I've seen these Goldwings used. They claim to be used with 200-300 miles on them. Now, how does that work? I mean, that's just ridiculous. Well, you can just choose any reason you want. I'm not going to go through all the reasons there could be, but here's what the guy told him, that he had lots of motorcycles and one had to go, and that was it. What's this guy's excuse? Well, without getting into too much of his personal business, it's got something to do with it. He does have another motorcycle, a Ducati, and it's a completely different riding and type of motorcycle. He's an excellent motorcyclist, and riding this is just like riding around a Cadillac. And that Ducati is not necessarily an adventure bike, but it looks like it. If you don't know what Ducatis are, they're very expensive, and they're quite amazing. And so he's just going to keep that one. And he actually told me something, and I believe him too. He says, I think I like accessorizing more than I do riding, because he did all this before he put very many miles on it at all. So he just figured, And he also got the hots for a camper. So he bought himself a new, not like this one, but a different one that, and so, moving money around, and he has 2 motorcycles. So this freed up some of the money that he used to get the new camper, which wasn't cheap. He's going camping this weekend for a whole week. He can't wait. He's chomping at the bit. He came by here and, you know, he brought the bike over and everything. And I walked him inside and showed him mine. He likes it. You know, but he is a super, super guy. I said, you know, I'm glad that I found you to buy it from. Are you glad you found me to sell it to? Because I am. All right, well, there you go. I can walk around some more for you, but you'll be seeing it in more videos. It's warmed up quite a bit since this morning when I walked out here. So I'm ready to get on it and ride a little bit. I'm going to head back over to his house and pick up a couple of things that we forgot to give me. There is a seat cover that you get that goes on the non-waterproof seat, and there's a pin that goes in the helmet to take some things apart, and there is another face shield for it he has for me. In fact, the video wouldn't be right without showing you my beautiful showy helmet. So that's what $1,200 looks like. It has too cold for bugs, but I don't want my heat to go out. Here's what this does. I watch a bunch of YouTube videos. I won't bore you along on this one, but see this little button right here? First, if I can do this without it sliding off the table. Here we go. We'll put it back here where I can press this little button right here. You press it. That releases the shield that you can get a little air. You can drop this piece right here. That gives you air. And then you can raise the windshield up. Face shield, like that. That's removable. These are $150. Supposed to be pretty good. So, you know, but look at this. Little button right here. Ooh, he's an F-14, an F-18 fighter pilot. Look at that. A tinted shield that comes down. Wait, there's more. You put that back down and see this red button? Push that down. There you go. This is called a modular helmet. So if you stop at a gas station or side of the road and you need to take a sip out of your big ass cup holder with a straw, with that face shield that's fixed, like on some helmets, you can't do that. This one also has a little microphone right there. You don't know if you can see that. That's for the intercom system, and the Carmen Hardin speaker system, basically like, you know, the best sound speakers you can get. I would say comparable to what's that famous home speaker everybody gets that I had in my Honda, and Cadillacs have it and all that. So this goes up, and look, you can ride like that and then do this, because you need a face shield, right? Drop that down. So now your Roger Ramjet, let me put you back here, you can see, and your mouth is still be able to talk on the microphone. You're going to appreciate why this costs $1,000 when I tell you this. All right, so on the side here, there's a button you can press. On the other side, there's 3 buttons, a plus, a middle button, and a minus. It actually says it on there. Believe me, trust me. Man, I can't do anything with one hand. It's really annoying. So anyway, you push the 2 here together, and a little light will start to blink here. And that turns on the system inside the helmet. And then you can talk for 12 hours, listen to music 12 hours, all day long. And then back here, right there, take his little plug out. There's a USB-C that you plug in, and the other end into, it's a USB-A actually, that you plug into any USB-A port, which I have them in the camper here, or you could use a brick that has a USB-A. That one's a USB-C. But, and that charges it up. Yes, it recharges. And I want to pull that back up. There we go. And I want to close that down. And so that's a Shoei. This is the Neotech 3, number 3, Neotech 3. The very latest one in modular. What that modular means, it has a chin that raises up. Some of these you can buy, this doesn't move. This just stays down. And you just lift this up and, you can buy them for $50. They got all kinds of inexpensive helmets. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That was included, the rain suit, the belly pin, the big time seat, ultimate seat, the F4 windshield, the rack. Gosh, I got to show that to you. Let me just show you. Naturally, it was in the truck, not in here. But anyway, there's the stock seat right there. And that's that line I was telling you about that it has. He took off the little pieces there. They're probably in there somewhere. Look at that, huh? Remember I was showing you on the back of the bike, this goes up in the bike to hold it on. All steel, welded. And there's a ball. He's like, why is there a ball? Well, this is just an accessory. Pull these pins out, take that off. Now you can put a motorcycle trailer behind you and tow a trailer. But because this goes up behind that plate, above the license plate, underneath the license plate, you don't see this whole thing sticking out as some motorcycles have. And, it's just not very pretty aesthetically. But I like this. Instead of just being a trailer hitch by itself, I could bungee a bag. I can put the cooler. He was going to give me a cooler, couldn't find it. Just a standard, I don't know, whatever it is, 9-quart or whatever he said. I'll just make sure I buy one that will fit in there. Bungee it down. And you got you some waters, some sodas, whatever. And you can ride around. Now, if I want to come across one used and take a travel, to do some traveling across country, and I need more space for, tents and things like that I'm going to be doing like I did in my old Goldwing, I'll buy myself a trailer and pull myself and carry everything, all the heated gear I need, all the tent camping equipment I need, lanterns, fans. I can carry it all in one of them trailers. You can do everything you want. It's like a vehicle. It's like a Civic, like a small car here, folks. I couldn't be happier, and so therefore I would think that in a year from now, if I decide to sell it or whatever, or next month, I'm going to be fine, and the value I'll get out of it and the enjoyment, if I kept it for a couple of years, and what I'll get back at that point, will not be bad at all. These things hold their value extremely well. Extremely well. And when you have one that's not the manual transmission, but it does have the DCT, the airbag, and a very nice color, and the mileage is low. I mean, I could have bought one with 15 or 25,000 miles on it, like a 22. And then, when it gets about 50,000, that's still nothing on a Goldwing, believe me. But when you're selling one with 5,000 miles on it, or 10 or 15,000 miles on it 2 years from now, come on, that's going to be desirable. And people go, like I did, from state to state. He flew to Missouri to buy this. So, there you go. Well, that's the deal, folks. It's time to ride. It's time to get out there and crush it.